Another technique video. This is actually something that I'm sure a lot of people out there know about, but possibly are struggling with. Uh, this is because I know I've struggled with it too, and that is actually thumb clicking. That snare kind of percussion effect that you make on your guitar. I actually taught a lesson a few weeks ago. That's why I wanted to make this video, guys, because my student actually seemed to be struggling with this. He was confused as to where to hit the string, and how hard, where, and like how to hit the string and everything like that, because he wanted that good sound, that good percussive sound, but wasn't able to find it. And he was asking how to do it without a thumb pick, because if you were to wear a thumb pick, this would actually be very simple. Because of the fact that this is made out of a harder material than your flesh, the sound will become much snappier and much easier to make. However, I don't like this because there are good purposes for it, and you could use it sometimes for like some songs and everything like that. But I wouldn't recommend to use this all the time, because there may be times where you don't actually have this, and on songs that you actually don't need this for, you wouldn't be able to play it with just your thumb by itself. Like if you're to go to a gig and you drop this somewhere and you don't know where it is anymore, and you're forced to play with just your thumb, then you wouldn't be able to, because the thumb pick has this thing that's coming out of it, which is totally different from your thumb. You don't have like a bone coming out or anything, you would have to play much more in here, in this area, rather than what you're used to, which is this area, which is out of the thumb. So I would not use this for every one of your songs. At least every one of your songs, I wouldn't. In my opinion, your real thumb is actually the best. And yeah. So to do this, you just hit your string with your thumb. It's actually quite simple, but keep in mind that I said just your thumb. When I see a lot of pop singers and guitarists who do a simple finger picking, they add little thumb clicks, but they don't do it correctly. Some do it correctly, but some people don't do it correctly. What most of these people do is they tend to hit all of the strings with their entire hand, or like something like that. I don't know. It just weird. But the number one thing that I want to focus on is the fact that you shouldn't hit all of your strings with your entire hand, or or mute all the strings somehow. I don't know. This is really bad, because unless it's in your music, unless they told you not to mute all of your strings at once, your guitar is like, especially in fingerstyle and classical guitar, when you have these things, your guitar would become multiple instruments, unless you're just strumming or something like that. This guitar is an instrument for percussion, harmony, melody, and the bass line too. So you want to try to keep them as separate as possible, as isolated as possible, as independent as possible. So when you're doing a percussive click, you don't want to interfere with the melody or anything like that. You want to keep the melody ringing over the percussion, and the harmony ringing too, and the bass ringing. So what I want you to do is to be able to just hit one string, or in some cases when you have to hit in between, like you have to hit the A string or the D string, you would have to only be able to hit two strings at once, or just these three strings. don't interfere with the melody. Try not to interfere with the melody. So like for more than words or something like I forgot to play that. But I don't know, something about being super staccato just doesn't sound very appealing to me. I don't know, it just sounds super disconnected and everything just sounds like one big clump of something. So yeah, and like in a lot of songs, like, you know, Andy McKee or Anton DeFore song, you know, those things, you want them to ring, you don't want them to go. That sounds pretty good, but in some cases you don't want the melody to be cut off. So that's why I would recommend doing this. And also, when you want to oh yeah, and I'll just teach you guys how to execute this actually. So for the low E string, you hit the low E like that over here, and I would recommend just trying to hit that, just that string by itself. Yeah, and for the only difference for these other strings, for the A string, even though I'm aiming towards A string, the back side of my thumb is actually hitting the low E string in the back. And then for the D string, my back side of my thumb is hitting the A string. So for those ones, the in-between strings, I'm basically hitting the strings before. To this side way of it, the string above it. And the reason why you would sometimes need to play in between here, not just in the low E string, is because sometimes you have to prepare for a note, a bass note. So like if I was gonna play like a C chord, you know, if I do it here and then if I do it in the A, if I would do it in this area here, I would be able to pluck it right away. But if I did a percussion in the low E, there'd be like some kind of time where it would take me to travel from here to there. Anyways, so what I want you to remember is to only hit your strings with your thumb, not your entire hand. And there are also some cases where, you know, like some people, like Guitar Oshio in the song Twilight, he just does like these little like taps with his index and middle, but that was notated in the music, so be sure to read the music. If you like look at some videos, he does something like that. Well, yeah, but anyways, I want you guys to read the music to the best of your ability and try to get every information on there, whether it be tabs or standard notation. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys. Please leave any comments, questions, and video requests below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.